ladies and gentlemen, still alone. Well, I don't even know which one to look at in this one. There's so many. Here you go. Here he's in a little kitchen, something. Apparently, now we're getting into the deep reads. Unreal. Some liberals still want to wear masks forever. You can't make this stuff up. How much you want to bet he's making it up? I'm sure he's got a video clip where these people go, I wish we could wear masks forever. And they're totally serious. Okay, here we go. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show if you like it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Patreons, we love you. Here we go. Let's do this. Fucking... And there's 3 of these. He just dumped 3 of these.
Well, guys, on the off chance that you were hoping that we were going to leave
well, guys,
the insanity behind us in
the nonsense, and don't let it happen.
2022, I have little to no faith in that actually happening.
Let me read from my notes here. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I had something that I really needed to talk about. What was it?
You want to know why?
Yes. Yeah, we're 13 seconds in, and none of us know what the fuck you're on about.
I read 3 articles.
Oh, well, you must be exhausted. I thought the nosebleed was from the Coke.
In the last week.
Wow. Took you a whole week to read 3 articles. Yeah, that tracks, actually. That tracks.
That makes me realize that people have actually lost their minds more than I have thought, which is hard to believe because...
All right, again, gibberish.
The amount of lost mind is strong to, let's say, really, really strong. But
okay. I don't know if he was hit with a bat, but he's starting to sound like his dad. Was really just strong, but to really, really strong. Let's listen to that like word orgy.
Actually lost their minds more than I have thought, which is hard to believe because the amount of lost mind is strong to, let's say, really, really strong. But
the amount of lost mind is strong to, let's say, really, really strong. Whew. I guess, when your dad's got the best words, he's not going to loan them to you. You're gonna have, Dad, can I borrow the keys to the best words? Shut the fuck up. You'll crash it again.
Here's an
Dad, I had a wreck. I wrecked the best words.
God damn it.
article from Time magazine.
Okay, article number 1.
The white supremacist origin of exercise and 6 other surprising facts about the U.S. history of physical fitness. The white supremacist origin of exercise. Exercise is now white supremacy.
No, it wasn't. They're talking about a particular exercise. I think it was about women.
Okay, remember, it's either white supremacy or climate change. Literally.
I'm sorry, how do you say climate change?
White supremacist origin of exercise. Exercise is now white supremacy. Okay, remember, it's either white supremacy or climate change. Literally.
Climate change. Okay, climate. I was mistaken. I always thought it was climate, but apparently it's climate change. Okay.
Literally everything.
No, not literally everything.
Is one of those things. Good, bad, or indifferent. They will blame it on all of those things. But that's Time magazine.
You left out racism. Don't we paint everything as racism?
They want to get rid of exercise. They don't want physical fitness, and I assume...
No. Your dad wants to get rid of physical fitness.
It has to do with...
For the record, Donald Trump Jr., his dad, Don, I guess, has his own feelings about it because he lifts weights or some shit occasionally. I don't know if his chest implants will take major loads. I don't know what the rules are about those things. But Donald Trump, his dad, believes you have a pre-programmed limited number of heartbeats that your heart will beat over the course of your life. Whatever it is, 600,532,625. And the minute you run out, you die. And so exercise speeds up your heart rate and makes you die sooner. That's his dad, the former president of the United States of America, actually believes that. I mean, wrap your fucking head around that. He thinks, seriously, he thinks you die because you run out of heartbeats And exercise makes you use up your heartbeats sooner. I'm not kidding. But please go on about how people like me don't like exercise.
Probably not wanting people to be self-sufficient or masculine, because there's the attack on.
Yes. I'm sorry. I couldn't make out what you were saying. Just the overwhelming wall of macho coming off you, sitting in front of a closed grill in an inside cabin. The weird little deer that hold the fork for cleaning out stuff off the pan. I couldn't hear you over like, huh.
Yeah, but this is in Time magazine.
Do I have to? That's what's making these shows so long. I have to read these fucking articles. Supremacist origins. Whoops. There we go. This is what he's talking about. This is the article. The white supremacist origin of exercise and 6 other surprising facts about the history of U.S. physical fitness. How did exercise trends go from reinforcing white supremacy to celebrating Richard Simmons? That evolution is explored in a new book by a historian of exercise, Natalia Melman Perzella, author of the book Fit Nation, The Gains and Pains of America's Exercise Obsession, out January 2023. Nowadays, the beginning of every new year, many Americans hit the gym, blah, 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 29,000 fitness tracking apps. It's really not until 1980s that you start to have a consensus that everybody should be doing some form of exercise, says Melman Perzella, a professor at New York School in New York City. That's partly the result of the women's movement in the 1960s and 70s, which fought for Title IX, allowing girls to play school sports. They pushed back on the notions that girls and women aren't capable of doing vigorous exercise because they're fragile. That's a little silly. Boomers, the me generation, became very vain, and exercise was one of the ways that they handled that vanity. And they weren't the fucking first. Go watch the what was that movie about the Kellogg's fat camps and stuff where people go and work out there, or the myriad of exercises that people used to do, or the fucking never mind. So stupid. Perfect for the reading of the treadmill and stationary bike, if you're a white supremacist, I suppose. One of the things I set out to do in this book is to look at fat is good, skinny is better, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What's the most surprising thing you learned in your research? It was super interesting reading the reflections of fitness enthusiasts in the 20th century. They said we should get rid of corsets. Yeah, this is the part where he's talking about. They said we should get rid of corsets. Corsets are an assault on women's form, and that women should be lifting weights and gaining strength. At first, you feel like this is progressive. Then you keep reading, and they're saying white women should start building up their strength because they need more white babies. They're writing during an incredible amount of immigration soon after enslaved people have been emancipated. This is totally part of white supremacy project. So that was a really holy crap moment for this historian, where deep archival research really reveals the contradictions of this moment. Yeah. The idea is that women exercising started, in this idea of white supremacy, which it didn't. There were certain people promoting it from that point of view. That doesn't mean the essence of it. And the getting rid of corsets was progressive, fuck's sake. Get out of here. Again, this is like, he's just seizing on a book as an example of where we're going as a country, guys.
Exercise is now apparently racist.
No, it isn't.
That's how it...
Yeah, that's why we have no black athletes in the United States. Only white people are allowed to achieve athletic potential.
Insane we're getting. Here's another...
We're not getting. We're not. There's no segregation of whites at Planet Fitness. The fuck?
One. Large magazine, not even messing around. The case for wearing masks forever.
Large magazine? A ragtag coalition of public health activists believe that America's pandemic restrictions are too lax, and they say, okay.
A ragtag coalition of public health activists believe that...
See, I thought it was, Democrats. Sorry, some liberals. Also, what the fuck makes them liberal if they believe they should enforce mask wearing? Isn't that fascism? Isn't that your purview?
That America's pandemic restrictions are too lax. And they say they have the science to prove it. That was December 28th, 2022.
So?
From a real, what used to be real, I guess, magazine. They came...
What? Again?
For wearing masks forever Guys, what do you think the over-under is right now? You're reading about the stuff from China that they try to get us back to, I don't know, let's call it March, April 2020 levels of panic, control, dictatorial.
0. Yeah. 0. Your dad started all that shit. Biden winded it down.
Nature of what was going on then. How long till that happens if they're already writing these sort of things?
They aren't. That's not Fauci. That's not the CDC and the NIH, a ragtag group of medical activists. Get the fuck out of here. But again, this is the business they're in right now. I think we should take this as kind of a good sign. Just like Glenn Beck has to like grab onto these like disparate stories and make it sound like you're surrounded. This is what he's. It's kind of a good thing to see. We're watching this asshole just grind. He's using 3 articles, tacking them together, and trying to create the concept that this means it's the end times.
These people are insane.
They're a ragtag group. Most of the time they are. I mean, look at the A-Team. I mean, technically, Murdoch was the only one who was technically insane, but the rest of them were a little wacky.
They've lost their minds.
No, I mean, if they've got science to prove it, at least they think so, then at least when they gathered the science, they had their mind in order.
And if they didn't think that was bad enough,
I don't. I don't think an article about a ragtag group of medical activists is bad enough. You're going to have to go further. I feel let down. I've been promised the end of the world for so fucking long, and nothing.
Almost like exercise is white supremacy, or at least started because of it.
Well, he grew a little.
Scientific American. The heightened concern about black women's weight reflects the racist stigmatization of their body.
Stigmatization. Not stigmatization. Stigmatization. It's hard. It's difficult. It's not like again, his dad sometimes takes the best words on vacation.
It also ignores how interrelated social factors impact black women's health. Just stop.
Was this just a break for him to make an anti-Lizzo slam? What do you think?
You know what seems way more racist to me?
Your dad. No. Eric. Fuck. Rudy Giuliani. No. Those guys when they get together and smoke cigars. I got it. That was it.
Ignoring science and common sense information about
whether or not doing it so much it knocks a hole in your hard palate is good or bad for you.
Physical activity and physical fitness, and instead pretending that those things don't matter, which probably is literally killing people.
By the way, tell you what, you can lecture us all when you get some shoulders. How about that? And your wife stops making fun of you being fat in your gray turtleneck sweater. How about that? You can say all you want when, and I'm not even asking you to look like Schwarzenegger, because I don't have that much time and I have other shit to do. But let's just say for the record, you go get some shoulders. Implants don't count. And then come back. They don't even have to be, mine got a nice little round pop on them. I'm still working on them, but my arms pick up so much of it. And I've got that nice sliced tricep. That's always there. It's good, but my arms pick up a lot of the weight, so they're very strong. So sometimes it's harder for me to build other muscles because these compensate. And I know you don't know what that's like, but trust me, all you got to do. I'm going start low, Junior. Start the pink weights. Use those. No shame in that. I use them. When you start out, you want to go 5. You want a progressive overload. Start relatively low. It's your shoulders. These aren't. We're not talking about biceps or fucking glutes. They can't take the weight. So you're going to take a light weight. You're going to start doing these. Just fly them up like that. Put your mental focus in the muscle itself. Right. Start low. 5-pounder, 3 in your case, but 10 in my case, but 3 in your, and just use go by color scheme. Pink, light blue, teal, orange. And then you do 15 on your way up, go up each way, and then 10 on your way down. So in all, you're doing 8 full sets of 10, but you're doing 5 pounds up each time, and then 5 pounds down each time. Sagana Des or whatever. Yeah, no. See if I can do this real quick. All white men created racism. No, they did not. If you don't believe me, go watch a documentary on Tanzanian albinos and see it. And I know you probably think that Tanzanians albinos have it coming. They probably deserve it. Albinism is is like a death sentence, according to you. That's fine. It's not fine with me, and it's not fine with everybody else here.
Letting people
Yes, he's shooting for looking like Ellis from Die Hard, though. Well spotted.
go about being obese is literally killing people under the guise of protecting them from racism.
No.
Pretending that certain people...
By the way, also, this is a tweet. I don't know what the article is. He's not posting an article. So again, if you dive into these things and look at them, they are either so narrowly focused so as to be almost meaningless, or they are opinion pieces, in which case, in the din of news stories, they effectively operate as a mix between clickbait and click pearl clutching.
People are somehow immune to the health issues associated with obesity seems sociopathic.
Sociopathic. I've never seen anything like that before. You'll have to explain to me what sociopathic actually means.
From racism.
And by the way, no offense, and I'm not fat shaming here, but if this is your genuine concern, tell your fucking dad.
Pretending that certain people are somehow immune to the health issues associated with obesity.
And that's not what they're doing at all, by the way.
Seems sociopathic.
Sociopathic. I agree.
But that's where we are. So
no, it isn't where we are. It's where the 3 articles this asshole picked out at random to operate as his, like, confirmation bias toilet paper for the week.
that was all in the last week or so.
Yeah, it took you a week to read them, but they probably came out weeks ago. I understand. Now you've got reading assignments because they're not going to just pay you for these 3-minute bullshit videos anymore. Now they're giving you homework. That's fucked. I'd strike if I were you.
So I have a feeling.
One, that doesn't surprise me. It would surprise any of you to know that we all have feelings. He has one.
2023 ain't leaving that stuff behind. We
ain't leaving that.
can hope, but
We can hope.
I ain't gonna hold my breath, folks, because
You can't, because there's a hole in your hard palate from all the coke use, and if you try, I mean, you have to cover your nose and mouth, and then even it would probably come in through your ears at this point. I mean, there's so much hollow space in your skull.
people have lost their minds. Learn to think for yourself, and more importantly, make sure your children do too.
Thanks, man. Learn to think for yourself.
And if you can't, tune in for my videos.